Hey y'all, so I'm still in New Orleans and I ran into a bit of a technical difficulty. So I had to film by a friend's place. And then when I get here, I forgot my damn battery in my camera. So I'm making do and I'm filming on Zoom right now. So pardon the video quality. This is my Real Housewives of Potomac review. Let's get into the episode. Now, first off, no, these producers did not give us a fake ass C murder down from my N words, like this beat. Bum, 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 bum. Bravo, y'all ain't slick. They are wrong for this. For this Casio Kids Bop version of Down for My Ninjas. But no, the ninjas, I'm down for the. They are wrong for this. Anyway, I'm from New Orleans, so I couldn't help but notice that. So I'm a little confused because the last episode was on kind of like a cliffhanger when G and Ashley got into it. And now they just start the episode with the van just pulling up to the house. Ooh, Lord, I can't wait till this trip is over because if I hear GVO one more time, we see the Green Eyed Bandit still complaining about a goddamn bathroom. Get over it. You there, collect the check, stop complaining. I will say a lot of you last week was in the comments blaming Wendy for the accommodations. But again, maybe accommodations would have been met if they would have RSVP'd. So it looks like the whole group is getting ready for Wendy's crab ball she's organizing. I wonder did they get like a little break in between because it looked like they just got back and they're just getting dressed already. Okay, Karen and Ray with the matching pimp hats. Karen looks good. I think Karen is like my favorite cast member on this franchise now. And look at Ray moving. Ain't he 80 something? You go, Ray. I think everybody looks good with the exception of Giselle, of course. Giselle is dressed like she's about to go to CVS or go get some laundry done. Oh, I was wrong about the fashions. Not only is Giselle underdressed for this event, but also her partner in crime, Robin. Escala, of course she killing it. So they're all at the table. It's a nice setup. Food looks good. We notice that G goes back inside. It's too cold for him. Very awkward moment. He just can't sit outside and film. It must be really cold outside if I see Escala in this big ass coat and everyone else is like layered outside. The topic of conversation at the table first is they're talking about Wendy and Eddie's drama in their family, how Eddie's side of the family still isn't rocking with them. So their update is Eddie's mom called and the door is open. A sliver of the door is open and Wendy is optimistic. She says that she wants her kids to have a relationship with their grandparents on Eddie's side. Wow, the mom missed the wedding and the birth of all three of their children. That is some pettiness. Lord, so Gordon come back outside being inappropriate, kind of saying like, I am so glad to be here. I could be doing so much else. Oh, Grandpappy, maybe it's time for you to sit down. So as Eddie, Karen, and Wendy leave the table for some reason, Giselle brings up, you're going to apologize, to Ashley for the sleeping thing. And now we're addressing that moment in the car. No, Ashley, now come on. Now that was messy on her part. She's like, you got amnesia? You got Alzheimer's? She didn't have to go there. Ashley, I think she's starting it. Don't she know how to respect her elders? Ain't Michael the same age as G? And Mia let her know immediately, like, Ashley, that ain't cool. Like, you knew what you was doing. Now, at this point, when you throw shade out or a dig like that, be prepared to get it back because Ashley realized that she is in a glass house. I hope she realized that. I'm glad Mia checked Ashley, especially calling her out, saying that as another female married to an older man, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, Ashley, he apologized. You could, like he said he was playing, fall back. Now I'm on Mia's side on this, like now that I'm seeing this scene. So meanwhile, with Karen, Wendy, and Eddie, they're planning on putting Karen in a fake cake to pop out of later. Ashley, I be in your corner sometimes, but now she's trying to talk down to Mia, saying, oh, you got selective hearing now? There you go, Mia. She's like, where's your husband? He's like, with the kids? Oh, are you sure? Oh, and y'all know Candace is enjoying this. It looked like Ashley trying to puff up her OG chest. Like, oh, you coming for me? Because we can do this. Okay, I think Mia's down for it. I mean, try not to talk about her mom. Like wouldn't that be so hypocritical if she went to her mom? Mia brings up in her confessional, girl, how come I haven't met your husband? Are you embarrassed of him? You goddamn Skippy. She definitely is embarrassed of him. She should be. Meanwhile, you have Karen in this cake being carried by Wendy and Eddie, who are struggling. So this lightens the mood, but oh my God, they come with this damn cake. Karen's legs are sticking out at the bottom of it. So she basically looks like a cake with legs. This is some clown shit. Karen is a character. Okay, that was kind of lame. Like they did all that just to put her ass inside of a cake, just to pop out and kiss Ray. They might as well just brought the cake to the table, put it over Karen and have her pop out of it. There was no type of surprise to this. So dinner is over. It looks like the drama has died down. There's still some side conversations going on. But I guess it just sucks that the trip had to end on that note. You have production asking Wendy, how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 as a host? She gave herself a 10. And then we see Robin in her confessional giving her a -5. So this is the end of the trip, finally. And 2 days pass, and we are back in Potomac, and we're checking in on some of the ladies. First, we're checking in with Candace, and Wendy's by her place. They're talking about the trip. And now we're with Mia and G. It looks like most of the ladies have received Karen's invite, and we're going to see everyone's interaction on camera. Ooh, every time I see Giselle's house, i.e. barn, it looks worse every time they show it. Now, if we recall, Karen told all the ladies to make sure you open the invitation outside. Ooh, and we're with Juan and Robin, and Juan, he looks fine in this scene. I can't even lie. He may be an absentee husband, but Juan can still get it. Okay, so the boxes are filled with butterflies. I'm not sure why they're being so dramatic. Like Candace ran and threw the box over. Even Juan tried to run off the porch and his son locked them out. Why the inside of the boxes look so raggedy? And why are some of the butterflies dead? Peter gonna have a field day with this. So they were reminded that Karen has always been extra with her invite. Mia, Mia, Mia. I really want her to know the metamorphosis transition between a caterpillar to a cocoon to a butterfly. I really want her to know that. So we're with Mia and Gordon still, and it looks like there was a small rift between her and G. The issue was, after the trip, they went to celebrate their 8th anniversary, I think, for a day. And then her mom kept calling her about the kids because I guess she was overwhelmed. She didn't know what to feed them. And then Gordon was like, oh, wow, can't you just figure it out? And then she told him, these are your kids, and hung up. So now it looks like Mia's mom and her husband are beefing. We've seen this on Housewives before, the mother-in-law always beefing with the husband. So it looks like her mom made a scene in front of the kids and was arguing at her husband. And now Mia's afraid that she might have hurt her and her mom's progress in building a relationship. So next scene, we're with Giselle, and the first thing producers show us is that boot on her foot. They really ain't shit. So she's doing an activity with all 3 of her daughters, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be reading her in this scene because every scene Giselle has with her daughters, they're most likely going to read her. So she tells her daughters that Karen's vow renewals are coming up, and she's asking, should she bring a date? 2 of them say no, the other one says yes, and then they get on the topic of their mom being alone. Like, you don't want to be alone and gross and single and old. It's really discouraging to hear her 3 daughters say that about being single, as if, like, Giselle instilled in them at a young age that their self-worth depends on if they're with a man or not by a certain age. And this is the part where they read her. Well, it's looking like that. Look like you're going to die alone. Damn. I think I would have slapped him in the mouth. But that's why I don't have kids. Giselle says in this scene that she's casually dating. And production's like, wait a minute. Who are you dating? And of course, Giselle is being coy about it. She's like, oh, it's just casual encounter. I mean, at least her daughters aren't afraid to talk on camera like some housewife kids. I mean, her daughter's really telling them what time it is. It's like, it's really hard to look up to you or dad for, you know, a good relationship. That might be true. Like, hell, I can't look up to my parents. I mean, they fucking hate each other. What Giselle needs to instill in them, however, is it's okay to be single and not to be with the wrong guy and accept horrible conditions just so you won't be alone for the rest of your life. Not 50 years of struggle, girl. I mean, I don't really care for Giselle that much, but I don't think she deserves this type of humiliation from her daughters. But like I said in another video, Giselle looks like she gets off on being humiliated. So next scene we're with Ashley, she's visiting her therapist. She's saying in her confessional that she realizes that the trip that she's been on has really taken her out of her peace. She was in 3 verbal altercations, 2 with Candace and 1 with Mia. Just an observation, is it just me or her new baby looks like it's losing its melanin? Because when I first saw him, I was like, oh, there goes the baby that looked like Ashley. Now he's just looking more and more like Michael. So I was a little checked out as Ashley was talking to her therapist, but my ears perked up when she finally mentioned Michael and their intimacy issues. It looked like he's just not hot for her anymore, and she's wondering, is he getting it from somebody else? I think the only way Ashley will flourish is if she divorced Michael. That man is just holding her back and sucking the youth right out of her. Ashley doesn't feel that Michael is cheating on her, like she really believes him, but she's still frustrated though. Ashley feels like she's losing herself. She wants to be the old Ashley. She remembers herself being sexual. I think it's not even Ashley's fault. The problem is Michael. I still think Michael has a man on the side. Like, he has to. So next scene, we're with Wendy at a photo shoot with the rest of her family doing the candle line. I mean, this scene was a little boring, but what I got from it is she's talking to her mom about how she was raised and had all the pressures. Like, she wasn't doing what she really wanted to do. She was doing what her mom wanted her to do. And they had a little back and forth about it. Of course, her mom is a little headstrong and arrogant about how she feels. And then I think Wendy makes a good point to her, and then her mom just walks off. So next scene, we're with Ashley. She's checking into a hotel. It looks like her and Michael, have a night away from the kids, and they have a chance to work on the intimacy issues. So she's lighting Karen's candles. She's trying to set the mood. I don't like where this is going. She's getting sexy for him in this leopard print dress. So Michael gets there and he likes what he sees so far. Ashley and her Coronas. Just an observation. I'm surprised she don't have a sponsorship yet. So they're having dinner now and feeding each other. I need the camera to stop zooming in on Michael's face. It's just a lot. Speaking of a lot, there's a lot of awkward silence. So Ashley is talking to Michael about the trip she just had with the ladies, about G, how she hasn't met him yet. And Michael looks annoyed already. It just looked like he don't want to be on this show anymore. He says he'll say hello to Gordon, but he's not talking to Candace or that husband of hers. She tells him what Chris told her, though, that he would like to move forward, but Michael isn't having it. I mean, he can't stand Candace, and he reminds Ashley that, you remember when she pulled a knife on you? Michael, I think, is going to be Ashley's downfall in this show. Like, I feel like they are not going to ask Ashley and Robin back. Lord, and here you go. Just like me, it looks like Michael has the hots for Juan. He said he's still like hanging out with him. I cannot see Juan and Michael hanging out. This must all be in Michael's head. Ashley actually sees where this is going because he's saying all the things he likes about Juan, and she gets up and tries to change the subject, it looks like. I think Michael is more attracted to Juan than he is Ashley. Production is so messy. Now they're doing flashbacks of every interaction with Juan and Michael. This is creepy as fuck. Oh, Lord. So Ashley puts a little blindfold over Michael as he says he's a little uncomfortable. I thought they were about to do some stuff on camera. Thank God they went into the room. Yeah, I'm glad that everything is implied. I don't want to hear anything or see anything relating to Ashley and Michael's sex life. No, thank you, production. Thank God we went to the next scene. So now we're with Giselle, and she's talking to her therapist. Oh, my God. Is this what we're going to end on? I mean, the episode started off so good, and now it's like just turning into filler. So the gist of this conversation with her therapist is she's telling him that she's worried about how her children see relationships. Is it because of her? And she's talking about how she reconnected with her ex-husband, Jamal Bryant. So then he challenges her by asking her, what message do you think you're giving your daughters in regards to relationships? I mean, I think that's pretty apparent, isn't it? Isn't that why she's seeing you right now, sir? Or maybe he just wants her to say it out loud to admit it. He's basically telling her from now on, try to be more open and honest with your daughter. Like, have the walls down. She needs to do that with her friendships too, because she stayed judging other people's relationships. She needs to be open about hers too. And while we're at it, I think Giselle needs a stylist just as much as she needs a therapist. So then the episode ends with Giselle telling her therapist that she's going to take his advice. This was a alright episode. I'm being generous, but it definitely was not better than last week. I feel like it started out great and then just became filler, and then not one but two therapist appointments. That's a lot. And then Robin, what is she doing? Like, she was hardly in this episode. Bravo again. Take her off the show now. Ashley, that cringe moment with Michael. I don't want to see Michael on my TV either. So I nominate Ashley and Robin being taken off the show. Bring Monique back. Bring Charisse back. Get a new housewife too. We can kind of replace Candace as well, but I'll keep Candace if we can just get rid of Ashley and Robin, because they're just not bringing anything to the show at this point. So we see the season finale is next week. Of course, it's going to be Karen's vow renewal. It's going to end with that. It looks a little interesting. And we finally get a scene with Juan and Rob, with, of course, Juan embarrassing Robin. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this episode. I don't really care for it too much. I'm still waiting on the reunion trailer. I would love to see that. And God, I hope it's 3 parts. It better not be 4. I will flip out if it's announced that it's 4 parts. But anyway, y'all, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all for Salt Lake City. Bye.